Welcome, welcome. Hello, loungers. You already know who it is. It is your host, DJ Mary B. Alongside, we have
Cousin D in the cut, period.
Boop, boop, boop. So, before we get into it, you already know, if it's your first time to our channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you are back, what it do, loungers? What it do?
Hey.
Okay, so before we get into it, I wanted to give a big shout out to Monster with his shirts, Modern Vintage. Yes, guys, this is Modern Vintage.
Yes.
Holla at your boy, Monster. I love these shirts. We will leave the link down below. And also, too, we wanted to give a really big thank you and a really big shout out to all of our sponsors for this season. Yes, so we got Delicious, Did the Sex, King Aqua, and Summer Vibes, and also we got Pops Punch. It's not here, but we just wanted to really say thank you so much for sponsoring us. We appreciate it. The drinks were great. You know,
So good.
we got a little turned a little bit. But so guys, if you're ready for the show, let's go. All right. So, Didi.
Yeah.
Season 1 of City Lounge. I liked it. I thought it was dope. I liked the guests that me and Dewey brought on. It was really good. And I wanted to touch back on the episodes and what was our favorite parts. So I want to know, okay, first of all, give a shout out to Liptimus Prize. Ready? Yo,
first of all, you did that with the accent, boy.
You did that
Talking
accent.
about, I'm not good at the Trini accent.
You did great. You did great.
Yeah, you really
that was really good. It was really funny. I liked that episode. I think for me personally, what I liked, my favorite clip about that episode was when DJ Superstar asked him, "What would you tell your 13-year-old self?"
Oh.
Yeah. What would you tell them if you had to go back? And he said, first of all, you guys look at the clip.
Like, what would you tell your 13-year-old self back then? As a big man now. Seeing how you mentioned the young age,
try to impress people who weren't real in the first place.
Okay.
Yes, so I really liked that clip because I feel like, when you're younger, you're always trying to fit in with the crowd. You're a please me person. Oh, I want to please this person. I want to please that person. You're trying to impress people. Oh, look, this and that. And I think that, he hit that on the nail, like, real hard. Like, like, honestly, you guys, like, don't impress anybody at the age of 13 and at the age of 30 or however old you are. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Know that you are enough. Just be your authentic self. And I mean, let's be real. You're trying to impress people. Like, I just feel like 9 out of 10 times, like, people aren't really watching you like that. Like,
but actually, at that age, maybe they are. But
yes.
Then again, like, that's the downfall of a lot of people at that age. And when I say downfall, I mean, like, we just make a lot of stupid mistakes trying to impress our friends or our haters.
Or like just trying to fit in, right? I think at that age too, at the age of 13, you're still trying to figure out, you're leaving elementary, you're going to high school, you're trying to see where you fit in. So big up to Liptimus Prime on that. I really loved that. Whether you're 13, 25, 38, 50, just don't impress anybody, you know what I mean? Just do your own thing. Try to, and I think it does start with the mind, actually. You have to make sure that we are raising children that are mentally strong and confident, secure in themselves, right? So as parents, like, let's do that so that when your child is 13, they don't feel the need to impress anybody. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Liptimus Prime for that. What about you, Dee? What was your favorite clip?
My favorite clip from that was when he was talking about how Toronto rappers don't really support each other. But if you really think about it, like you guys said in, I think it was the DJ J episode, Toronto people in general don't support each other. But I really like that because I'm not big on Toronto rappers, but like my cousin, shout out Cameron, he's always telling me, like, yo, if the rappers were to come together, Toronto would be so much further. Like, Atlanta who?
First of all. I really wish that Toronto had that mentality like Atlanta. Like, they all support each other, they all show up for each other, you know what I mean? We would definitely be further in the game. Definitely. So yeah, that was a really good clip. I like that. I really did. And then episode, oh wow.
We skipped episode 1.
We skipped episode 1 We just went right into Laventille. Wow.
Yeah, we were really.
Yeah, we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait
to vacation. We went straight to Laventille.
Yes, we did. I would have to say my favorite clip of Sean with Sean. Oh my God. It's so hard because
that whole
episode. I want to say thanks to Sean for coming out, because you really represented men in that episode, where they're coming from, how they're feeling. You know what I mean? Politely put women in their place, kind of. But I came through for the women too. But there's a lot of things that we didn't know as women as well. I mean, you telling me I know, but there's a lot of things that women probably watched it and was like, okay, I need to be aware of that. I need to be mindful of that. So. I guess what I would have to say with Sean's episode was, the clip was when he said, like, as men, like, do the work, take care of your family, and, don't focus on women, focus on yourself, because let's be real, as women, we need you men, you know what I mean? Different, like, men play different roles. Your kids need you, and society needs you. Like, we need very masculine men. You know what I mean? Show up for the kids, show up for your wife, show up for whoever you need to do, but most importantly, show up for yourself. So that is what I would have to say my favorite clip of Sean was.
My favorite clip, and you definitely have to roll this clip, is the clip where he was talking about faith. Yes. So let's watch that clip.
Your take on faith, your insight.
I do believe that there's a higher power. Everybody will call it God. I do believe that, but I think the greatest gift that we're given was choice.
I just feel like that's the best description of what faith is, because it does say, I don't know about other religions, but in Christian religion it does say that, like, God gave us choice, and with that choice we get to decide whether or not we will walk in faith or walk in fear. And like, choosing to walk in faith, testimonies I have, I'm not even gonna drop it, but like, faith,
you have to walk in faith.
That was the best. I just couldn't, when he gave that description, I was like, he should become a pastor or something. There's no better description of faith than what this man said. So shout out to that.
Yeah, Sean really came through. He really dropped those gems. And I chose Sean to come and, to come on the show, because that's how he is. Everything he's saying, that is how he is. Like, he literally, everything he preaches, he practices that. So, you got to practice what you preach. And with faith, guys, walk by faith, not by sight. I'm telling you. Cannot pray and worry at the same time.
Period, girl.
So just have faith, okay? So next episode that we're going to touch on is...
Deidre.
After... Yes, you're right, DJ.
After Lipton,
you're right.
It's because we skipped Sean, so we just got
sorry, guys. We're all over the place. I think with Deidre J's episode, what resonated with me was the clip about people asking her, like when I asked her, like, what do people come to her about? So let's check out this clip, guys. So with your coaching, what is something that you would say is very common for a lot of people that you talk to?
A lot of people are like, they feel stuck. They have a vision for themselves, but they don't know how to start.
Yes. So in that clip, she does talk about, people feel stuck. And that's true. A lot of people, they just don't know where to start, like what to do. You know what I mean? It's like, you can be in a place where, you're not happy at your job, but you have to pay the bills, right? You feel stuck, and it's like, okay, but I want to do this outside of that. And my advice to anybody that does feel like they're in that space, work your 9 to 5. If you need to pay your bills, and you take your time and you sit down and you have a concrete plan of what you want to do, and little by little just achieve those goals. You know what I mean? Little by little, and just start. Literally.
And also, especially a big thing for achieving goals and planning and making sure what you envision comes to life, write it down.
Definitely.
Just write it down.
Definitely write it down. Definitely. I agree to that. Because there's things like I have to do and I don't write it down and I'll be like, yeah.
Right?
Once I write it down, it's real. It's concrete. You know what I mean? And
it just feels so good to take something off your life.
Just gonna say that.
Scratch
yes. Like you go back and you're like, you know. So definitely, that was my favorite clip on that because it resonated and it's real, and a lot of people do feel like that. So what about you, Dee?
Oh, and just to go over that quickly, some apps, because you know I'm big on planning, whatever. So like if you don't want to write it down, download the to-do app to do it and tick it off. And with the to-do app, you could either just leave it or you could give it a time frame, like I need to have it done by this time, and it'll give you notifications. Also, check out the Fabulous app, and this is not a paid ad. I'm just telling you guys, that app got me drinking water.
Every morning.
Every morning. But yeah, those are some good apps to check out if you're if you feel stuck and you're just trying to get out of, you know, that place, that hole that you're just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Complacent, routine. Yeah. Those are good. Thanks for letting the viewers know that, Dee.
Yeah.
You put me on the Fabulous app?
Oh, that app?
It's a really good app. It's really good.
Yeah.
So what about you? What would you say was your favorite clip of
my
DJ J's?
My favorite clip ever from DJ J's is when you guys touch on forgiveness. And my favorite clip under that was when you guys spoke about forgiving yourself before like having to forgive anybody else, because it really does start with you.
Yeah,
it really does. Like there's so many things. I don't know if you guys just sit there. It happens to me, and it probably happens to everybody else because I've seen it on TikTok. When you sit there and it's just like waking up in the morning, think about so many things, and then you're just like, and then you're like, oh yeah, why did I do that? You know, you're just on the bus and you're just like,
yeah, literally cringing about scenarios, the way you used to act. You ever like just go back and you're just like, I can't believe I handled it that way, or like, you know, definitely. And I would have to say forgiveness, definitely, like when she said, you know, it starts with it. Once you start to forgive yourself and other people, you literally take off, because rightfully we're not supposed to be holding people in our heart anyways. I believe that it blocks your blessings. It really does. Because I don't hold nobody in my heart. If you ever did me wrong out there, I forgive you before you even said sorry. And if you didn't say sorry, just know I forgive you. I really do not. That doesn't mean I gotta mess with you like that, but I really do not hold people in my heart. And sometimes it makes sense.
You even end up holding yourself in your heart. Like you're just like, you're just sitting there like, oh, I should have did it this way, or I should have did it that way, instead of taking it as a lesson.
Yes.
And saying, let me build from this, or I'm not gonna do it this way anymore. I'm gonna do it this way instead. You know, so it's just like, I feel like that's the biggest thing. Just, girl, forgive yourself, or guy, forgive yourself. You know, like,
and just focus on, like Dee Dee said, like, focus on the lessons that you're gonna get from whatever happened with that person. Anything you guys go through, never look at it like a negative. It's just like, I shouldn't have been in this situation, but what did you learn from it? Right? Count your L's as lessons and not losses, because life literally is like, we're all just going through life. We don't know what the hell we're doing, but you know what I'm saying? But to make your path a lot clearer, a lot easier for your mind, your body, and your soul, just forgive and think positive, take your L's as lessons, and keep it moving.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So now we're going 20 to 8.
Yes. That was a really good interview. I really liked that interview.
Dewey did his thing.
He really did. And it was really good to see the male's perspective of certain things, right? You know, even the question about what was it, that the judging the women in the past and the male. That was a good question, because, you know, as women and as men, we want to know, okay, you know. But I would have to say my favorite clip from that is the friends supporting friends. So let's take a look at that clip.
That was a really good clip.
How do you feel about unsupportive friends?
Bro, in 2021, 2020, I learned that sometimes what you're selling may not be for your friend.
Okay.
This is my new approach.
Yes.
you do not want to get into business or start something focusing on who's supporting you. You know what I mean? Like, just focus on the people that do support you. Think positive. And I remember seeing something on Instagram where someone was like, honestly, like, what you're making is not for your friends and family.
Yeah.
Successful people will always tell you that your friends and family, they're not support. They know you.
Yeah.
You know what
the closest people to you
are not going to support you like that.
Usually the
Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And it's not no malice or anything. It's just like, yo, if they're not supporting you, they're not supporting you. You know what I mean? Keep it going and focus on the people that are supporting you. And like he said, sometimes what you're selling, they're just not buying. That's just not their cup of tea.
But then again, there is different ways of supporting. So even if my friends or family don't want to buy from me, I'm not going to say I'm watching it, but it's like, you can post me. You know people I don't know that your people would want to buy from me, so why can't you post me? Or there's ways to support for free. So at the same time, I just feel like, no, don't watch who's supporting you, but kind of like, I don't know how to put it. Like if a family or friend is not posting you, or you just know they're not with it like that.
They're bad mind, and
yeah,
that's just what it is.
Because I know if anyone in my family come out with something today or tomorrow, I'm
posting that. Yeah,
I want everybody to know. My friends don't have to like follow you or like your shit or buy your stuff, but it's like, at least I'm giving you that exposure that I won't get, that you won't get on your own, you know?
Yeah. So something as simple like Didi said, reposting. Even to like my mom, she doesn't have Instagram, right? So what she does is she's like, "Okay, Miriam, send me the link to your episodes," and she sends it to her friends. You know what I mean? Or it's funny, like sometimes you stumble across people and they're like, yeah, this person let me know about you, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Some people support you and they don't brag. You don't even know that they're doing it.
Even word of mouth.
Yes, word of mouth, all of that stuff. So.
But then again, that's another reason you can't really watch who's supporting you, because like I was just saying, oh, post me, but what if they don't post you, but they tell people like, yeah, my cousin makes weed rolling trays, and I don't know that, and they don't necessarily have to say, oh, like, yeah, your cousin sent me. They could just be like, oh yeah, like I just want a weed rolling tray. So at the same time, it's like, it doesn't even make sense, because you never know who's undercover supporting you.
That's what I was trying to say. You can't really focus on it because other people support people different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I bucked into somebody and they're like, yeah, yo, this person told me about you. And I was like, what? The person never came back and said, hey, Miriam, I sent this person to you. You get what I'm saying? So you just never really know, right? So yes, do not watch who's supporting you and who's not supporting you. Just cut and gut you.
Period.
Cut and gut you. Okay? What did you like about, oh yeah.
It was the same thing, like,
yeah.
That, I just love that.
Love that, yeah. Okay, and then our final opinion was
yo, the girl chat. That episode was actually really crazy.
It was actually really fun to record.
Yeah,
because we really like that.
We are like, it just felt like we were just sitting at home. The only thing we didn't have was
Uno. That's the only thing. That was the only thing. But it was really good. I liked it. What was your favorite part about our episode that we did?
My favorite part? Oh my gosh, there's so much. I don't know. My favorite part was probably I really like the cancel culture.
Yes.
Because like I feel like we all had similar but different opinions. Also, I had so much. Okay, also I really like the pro-black conversation. Can you be pro-black and date outside your race? Just because I just feel like we didn't get to talk on it much, but
yeah, the time was winding down.
Yeah,
yeah, we
like,
honestly, like looking back at our episode, I'm gonna give myself some constructive criticism here. The topics that we talked about in the end, we really should have talked about that in the beginning, right? Because I would have to say, realistically, like we don't talk about celebrities at my house. We really don't.
Sometimes we do.
Well, the major hype thing, but you guys didn't want to talk about that. But we don't. Remember when I even talked to you guys about the Lori Harvey thing? You guys are like, okay. When I wanted to talk about Chloe, we didn't even talk about Chloe and how people were getting at her. You guys are like, but why are we talking about it? Because we don't really talk about those things.
Because we don't really watch those things.
That's what I was saying.
But the Tekashi 6ix9ine and Bobby Shmurda was
heated.
a good conversation, especially because Bambi
Her views. Shout out to Bambi and Kadeja.
Yes. But like Bambi's views, they're just so, you know, even the whole storming the Capitol, Bambi was like, I'm trying to be an ancestor. Like, I would have, like, I'm going and fighting for my rights, and we're just here like, you trying to get killed? And she's like, I just said I'm trying to be an ancestor. Like,
I remember too, yeah, like at the house too, she's like, yo, so if they call you up and they're like, let's go, are you gonna leave Amari? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not leaving Amari.
Yeah, because what you guys, because I know she didn't really talk much.
And get into it, yeah.
But what she was saying behind the scenes was, why she, like, I don't know if respect is the right word, but why she respected the white people for doing what they did was because they're fighting for what they think is right. When we go and try to get justice, we're always peaceful and always trying to
kumbaya.
Yeah, but it's like our ancestors, when they had to fight for freedom from slavery, they were in kumbaya and they were killing them white people, you know? So she's like, why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we be like our ancestors? But then she was like, I understand that this generation, we feel like we have too much to lose.
Yeah.
And I totally, like, I'm just 20, I'm not trying to get killed by no cop.
Yeah.
I mean, but it would be nice for the younger generation to be able to say, like, yeah, my mom, she went and stormed the Capitol. The Capitol. But then, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just to show how soft we've gotten. Not even just black people, but like everybody. We used to be, especially black people, we used to be strong and, you know, fight for what we wanted. And now we're just here, like, we're still fighting, but peacefully. We're kneeling, you know.
It's that oppression. I think what it is too is that I feel like as black people, I would have to say, for me, I feel like we do try to do that, and they take us out. You know what I mean? And I feel like if black people were trying to do the storm the Capitol, like before we even put our toe on the pavement, they're shooting us.
We're not even going on the pavement.
We're not able to do that. We're literally not able to do that. That's where I was coming from when she said that. I was like, I hear what you're saying, because you already know me. I'm gonna respect somebody that stands firm in what they believe in. But for me, I feel like we're not even able to do that, because if we were peacefully protesting and they're spraying stuff in little kids' face, they were even getting at white people that were sticking up for black people, peacefully protesting.
That one guy that even lost his eye?
Yeah, lost his eye. The old man, they just chucked him and he head bleeding. So even their own people that stood up for this, they were being very violent towards them. They just did not have no care in the world. Exactly. So it's like, how can we?
And then you see the black people that went, like I said in the episode, that stormed the Capitol and nothing happened to them. So it's just like,
they know what they're doing.
The government contradicting themselves.
Yeah,
you see them
definitely
killing us when they want to kill us and leaving us to be when they feel like we're them. And
like, let's just touch on what's going on right now about that white guy that went and killed off all rest in peace to those ladies that lost their life and to what happened. White supremacy is real. It's real, and I wish that America took that more seriously. Because when we are having a bad day,
literally,
when we're having a bad day, we're not killing off children. We're not killing off.
Instead,
I'm going to show you guys a clip of this lady. This is what she had to say about white supremacy and about white men.
Dear American white boys and men, what more do you want? You have more privilege, more power than any other gender or race. You are still overwhelmingly the face of power and prosperity in this country. And yet somehow you're still mad because of the imagined threat to your total dominance. Every single time one of you goes on a shooting spree of people who are minorities or, children, because it's always someone more vulnerable than you. That one question resonates in my brain. Why isn't all the power and privilege enough for you? Why do you also feel entitled to people's fucking lives?
She's white, and this is what she's saying. Okay? She's saying that white men, why is it not enough that you have to go and do this and do that and do that? It's like you already have the world at your feet. You're white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're a man. Like, you're privileged. So why do you need to go and take people's lives? Like, why do we still need to do that? Why?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting heated.
I was saying, like, when we're literally having a bad day, like a mental breakdown, we get killed for that. And we're literally
having a bad day. Literally.
And in our yards. This man went where he went, shot up how much people he shot up, and they're like, oh yeah,
he had a bad day.
And then there's still those.
Then you have Breonna Taylor, who was literally in her bed. And got shot at. And nothing happened. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. It's disturbing.
So disturbing.
It does a lot to, I don't know, there's a lot of even if you're not an empath, just as a black person, it's disturbing. It's
draining.
It's unfortunate, it's draining, and then you have to sit there and you have to talk to your kids about it.
Because you, as much as you would want them to not experience it, it's not getting better, it's not going away, they're gonna experience the same thing we're experiencing.
And they flaunt it. They flaunt it, like, yep, we could, like when George Floyd died, there's so many other people that died after, but because of his situation was so much bigger, people didn't know, but they're literally telling us, like, we don't care.
We don't.
You guys can march. We do not care. We're still gonna kill you. And then that whole Breonna Taylor thing, like, that was just like, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but it goes to show that it doesn't matter how far we are.
Didn't she die before George? That's another thing. We need to, I just feel like we mostly look at when a cop kills a black man.
And a black woman.
There's so many black women. And it's until we did that Say Her Name episode.
Say Her Name, yeah. And we didn't even really get into it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much. And that's why when you said storming the Capitol when the white lady died and they were saying Say Her Name, I was like, we're not going to disrespect our people for that.
That was so disrespectful.
But yeah, so that was that clip to talk about that. Also with our episode, I wanted to touch on, you did say cancel culture. I felt like we didn't really get into cancel culture as well because I don't know the cartoon's name, Pew Pew Le Pew, but why are we canceling Pew Pew Le Pew? We grew up with him. I understand, okay, whatever, but kids are not thinking that.
Definitely
Stop trying to put these things onto kids so young. Do you think they're looking at that? Number one, why aren't we passing laws that cops can't kill us? But we're so quick to cancel cartoons, and we're so quick to cancel all these other things that do not matter.
Why don't we just
doesn't matter.
Why don't we just like arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor?
Yeah, like can we just arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor?
But you guys are like, no.
We have to cancel Pew Pew Le Pew.
I heard people are even marching. No, I'm lying. Sorry, y'all. Misinformation. I was gonna say they're marching to cancel Pew Pew Le Pew, but that's not what they're marching for. They're marching to free Britney.
Britney who?
Spears.
What happened?
I really don't know.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, but yeah. I seen that and I was like, why? That even, I know I keep going back to black culture, but I'm black. Yeah. I feel like we only march for a time, or we only stand up for a time. Because that whole summer we were marching, I don't see nobody on the streets holding Black Lives Matter anymore. Black people are still getting killed. Black lives don't matter anymore. Like, there's only few people that still stand for the Black Lives Matter is not a movement; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
and we have to remember that.
Yeah,
because there are even, I mean, yeah, you could be black and be marching for free Britney, but
even too, we have to take accountability about that too. Because when that whole thing started happening, everybody had that in their status. You don't really see that in people's status. It's like kind of like, okay, we moved on. But a few times, a couple times you want people's stories, they're gonna say, even though, whatever, Black lives, they still matter. Like when it's Black History Month, we're all putting up this black stuff, and then when it's done, it's like, so you're right, it is a lifestyle. We need to support, and we're black every day. Okay,
Period.
Black
It
History
can't
Month is
wash off,
every because let's be real, Black people we're culture. Like we move, like this world does not move without our culture. So there's no Black History Month. Black History is every day, 365. Okay. So yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Culture.
Yeah, with the cancel culture thing, yeah, like I think it's just ridiculous.
It is really ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Aside from the superstars, like we're canceling stupidness, cartoons.
Yeah, they wanted to cancel Kirk. Ain't nobody canceling Kirk.
Oh, can we touch upon the Kirk Franklin thing before we end this episode?
We're not canceling Kirk.
Kirk Franklin, okay. I do not think Kirk Franklin did anything wrong because number one, we all cuss out our children like that. He's grown. That man, I think for his son to do that was actually very disrespectful.
Really, exactly.
I think that's very disrespectful because number one, I mean, you're grown. Your dad is cussing you out. Why do you need to put that on a platform to
just to 33-year-old man?
Yeah, like why? Like that's you're doing too much. Like this entitlement of your dad having to do this and this for you, and that's the thing. Like, not all rich kids, but most rich kids feel like because they're rich, their parents have to show up for them. Like if you're not helping yourself, I don't need to. As a parent, if I choose to help you, that's great, and if I don't, I don't. Because I worked hard so that you can have this lifestyle. So for you to go and do that, nah. Kirk Franklin is not canceled. We stand with you. Because my mom cussed me out like that too, and I would never.
And other people talking about, oh, he's a gospel artist. He shouldn't be cussing like that. Did your mom not cuss you out worse?
After she came from church? Especially after she came from church. I just come from there.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to come out. You see what you having me do? I just come out of church.
I just press. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, don't do that. Number one. Number two, don't do that. And number three, don't do that. Like, don't disrespect your parents like that. That's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. He didn't put hands on you. So what did he do? He what do they call that when people? He threatened you. So what?
He did?
Well, he's like, I don't care. He said it. He said he did.
He said he's gonna kick his ass.
I don't know if he said that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
I was gonna say, like,
he kind of
that's nothing.
But that's the thing. The son didn't play everything.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't play everything.
Because Kirk said, like, I was trying to get the counselor on the phone, and
I'm mad that Kirk Franklin apologized. I'm so mad that you did that. You should have stand firm in what you said. Stand firm.
If your son is a B-ass nigga, then
he proved that he is. Like, why would you do that as a man? I mean, if girls want to do that because they're emotional, but as a man, your dad cussed you, take that.
Period.
Take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just take it. So yeah, shout out to Kirk Franklin. And you're also, not canceled.
Before we end this episode, can we just talk about what they're trying to do to Lola Bunny?
Oh yes, this was with cancel culture. You brought it to my attention that they gave her baggy pants in.
Yeah, so y'all know how Lola Bunny was all cute and sexy and all of that. I don't know how this came about, but they're like she's too sexualized. And
I can't.
I'm just like, she's a woman.
You guys did that. When Space Jam came out, I did not look at Lola Bunny as sexualized. Number one, she's a cartoon, so no one's really digging her out in real life. Two, it's like, why can't she be feminine?
Right?
We have Betty Boop. Betty Boop was a real woman.
And she was black, just saying.
No. Oh yeah, that too. Lola Bunny is a bunny. Like, why we catching feelings off of this? Like, she's a whole made up fictional character. Like, if you go to Disney World, you ain't seeing Lola Bunny. You see Mickey, but you ain't seeing Lola Bunny. So for you guys to desexualize her and put her in some baggy pants, don't do that. Like, and that's what I mean with cancel culture. You guys are putting this in these children's head. They're not watching that. I'm not watching that. They're really
not watching that. I'm pretty sure if you ask a child, what's your favorite thing about Lola Bunny? The child's not gonna say, I love her ass.
Yeah, or I love what she's wearing. Like, no, they just love that. Like, don't ever call me doll. Like, just let her be. And the same thing with Pew Pew Le Pew. Ain't nobody watching Pew Pew Le Pew hug up on this woman and she doesn't want it. To me, it just comes off like she's just annoyed by you and you're just an annoying man and that's it. But like the way they made it and they turned it, it was just like, cancel culture is too much. Like, I'm against cancel culture.
Honestly,
it's just too much. You guys are canceling the wrong things. Can we cancel cops? Can we cancel racist big companies? That's what we need to cancel, not cartoons.
Question: Are you for canceling Cheryl Osborne, if that's her name, the redhead girl.
Listen, I am for canceling her because you are sticking up for a man that obviously has a problem. He's racist. He has a problem with Meghan Markle. How, like, the way he talks about it, and then for your co-host to sit here, like Dee, me and you are cousins, we're friends. If you sit here and you tell me about myself, why am I getting up? Let me just sit down and take in what you're saying, and then let me come and let me, go back and rebuttal what I have to. For the man to get up and walk away, there's truth to what he's saying. There's truth to what he's saying. And for Cheryl Osborne, for her to, well, what am I doing? What do you mean, what are you doing? Like, why are you on the other side of this? You have co-hosts that are black. Number one, here's the thing. White people don't know how it feels like to be black. That is what the thing is. They don't know how it feels. Everything is like, oh my God, like, what am I doing wrong? Come on, man, you need to be more aware. Let's not get started with that one, because girl, you already know how I feel about that, and that's why you brought it up. Don't let these people see me upset. Not today. Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
But yeah, what about you? How do you feel about that before we go?
To be honest, I haven't really seen what she said, and I only seen, like, I only seen when that British guy was talking about how he was trying to date Meghan Markle.
Yeah, that's why he would talk trash about her, because she ghosted him, because she just knew her discernment was correct. Trash.
So that's why he doesn't like her?
Yeah.
So is he racist? Because he doesn't like her because she ghosted him?
When I say that he's not racist, let me backtrack. But I think what happened was, he was more upset at the fact of, like, what she said, and then another lady was like, the fact that you're more upset about this and not the fact that these people cared about the color of this baby, it shows that, like, why are you so focused on, like, he was just focused on the wrong things. And when you're focused on something else without seeing the bigger picture, it just shows who you are. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. So that's where it went with that. And then Cheryl Osborne's like, oh, I support him. And everyone's just like, well, how can you support somebody like that? Like, he was getting at, when the black lady was telling him about herself, he had mouth for her, but when his co-host came, he walked away. He knows who he has mouth for. So with that being said,
yes.
Before I get into that, we just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. Things kind of went a little left, but that's okay. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for holding it down. Thanks for rocking with us.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about season 2 that's gonna be coming up. So our co-host DJ Superstar is working on other projects. So on behalf of the City Lounge family, we want to wish you the best.
Yes.
Okay. We wish you well with everything that you're doing. Thanks for being a part of this journey.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
It's always love over here.
We had really great memories. So you guys, if you're watching this, please follow iamstar.tv. We will leave the link below. And look out for season 2 because it's coming out very soon. So thank you guys.
Bigger and better things.
Yes, guys, we have amazing things for you guys. Just continue to support, guys. We love that you guys rock with us, and we'll see you guys for season 2.
Yes.